listen to the Irish fans out there.
James Helder, IFL TV, in association with Mac the Knife Global. We're in Las Vegas with me. Got none other than Dennis Hobson from Hobson Promotions. What's happening, Den? You okay?
Very well, thank you. Better for seeing you.
Better for seeing you, mate. Also joined by none other than Don Varley, Asif Vali. He's back in Vegas. What's happening?
Don Varley.
That's the nickname that he gave me years ago, and he still calls me by that name. Eh?
Can you hear the Irish fans, Frampton fans in full voice already?
Brilliant, aren't they? Eh? You can. What is it? An hour away from the weigh-in, there must be a few thousand out there already. And we've met them all, and we've been outside and walking around.
Mingling with them, yeah, it's great.
The green tops are everywhere, the flags are everywhere. It's brilliant.
Reminds me of the Hatton days,
I was just going to say that. Does it Ricky Hatton-esque for you in the way that the fans are out here coming out to support? And
it gets the juices flowing, absolutely, yeah. So, you know, it just shows what we can create. Big British quality fighter coming over to the States and bringing it. They don't see anything like this on a regular basis. This is special.
Do you think they remember when fighters like Carl Frampton come over here and the fans? It makes a big difference.
No matter what happens tomorrow night, his memory's making, and it's not just in the ring.
I mean, you know what? They talk about that all the time. They talk about Hatton coming over and making a noise with 30,000 fans. You know, they'll talk about the Irish guys that are coming over with Frampton, and they'll talk about the press here in this media will talk about the atmosphere.
I spoke to somebody, I think yesterday or the day before, or just before we flew over, who was saying they can't get their head round, the non-boxing fans, they can't get their head round why people will fly out without a ticket and they've no intention of going in the arena, just to be involved with the atmosphere. Now, that's special, that makes it a special event, doesn't it? But if you can create that, you can't buy that.
How do you think Carl Frampton will get on in the rematch? How do you think he'll get on Saturday?
I think it's good. The matchups, it's a great matchup style-wise. It's going to be a great fight. You worry a little bit, like we've just been talking about, you know, 3 American judges, but I think it's going to be close. Points win, I think, for Frampton. Should be, if he gets the decision.
Okay. Same for you, Asif. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think so. I think the major factor is the judges, I think, and people forget that one of the judges that did the Gale fight, he's here and he got a lot of stick, and promoters and managers will look at the things outside boxing, who's sitting where, and the judges are most important. And I think that's going to be a major factor, and I think we hope that Carl doesn't get robbed, and you heard it first.
Do you think, you're looking at a potential trilogy then? Do you think that would make sense from a promotional point of view?
Promotionally, yeah. I mean, you look at it, you think, well, if it is, forget about the judges. If they were a trilogy, it would be fantastic. But it, you know, judges-wise, it depends how they interpret it. That's a polite way of saying it. But yeah, it makes sense. Bring him back to Belfast, and then finish him off once and for all, maybe.
I want to talk a little bit about what's going on with Amir Khan and Kell Brook. Obviously, we've seen your videos with Coogan and Eddie regarding sort of what's been said and where we're at. Can you give me any update or any information as to where we're at right now and what's been going on?
There's a lot of booing out there, isn't there? I hope it's not for this.
Well, after that question, say a nicer question where they don't boo as much.
Listen, I mean,
how are you? Yeah, just shouting, how are you?
I think they're definitely talking to me.
I think the fight is there. I mean, we're talking about the fight, and we did that interview with Coogan. Was it yesterday or the day before? Can't remember when it was. A couple of days ago, before we got out here. I did get one thing mixed up slightly, which I want to clear up, and that was the percentage of the champion. Champion does, the split. He gets 75% when it's an IBF title, 25% to the challenger. I think it was so cold out there, I think I got that mixed up, but that's cleared up now, so all them fans that call me deluded, well, I am, but people make mistakes, so what? There we go, you know. But the fight itself, yes, it's still, we're talking about it. We talked to Eddie before we flew out here. We've got a couple of big meetings here in Vegas. We're going to see Amir later and present everything to him and then decide what we're going to do in the next couple of weeks.
Is the percentage thing the only thing holding up the fight? Or has anything else been discussed? Or is it a case of this is just the thing that needs to be sorted out before discussions go further?
Listen, I've heard Kell Brook come out that we've been talking about Amir coming out second because he's demanded that. That's rubbish. We've not even talked about anything like that. We've not talked about who's coming out first, who's coming out second. But for all we care, we just want to get the fight made. And now people say about this percentage split, that's saying it's the major factor. Well, you got to understand. You got to understand the business, and we've offered a guaranteed purse, and the rest of it is a gamble. It's a gamble from everybody, and we don't know what it's going to do. There's what 3 or 4 pay-per-views before that event. Nobody's going to say this is how much money you're going to get, because people might not buy into it, because they might be pissed off with the other pay-per-views that they brought. Who knows?
Big fights very rarely get done at afternoon tea, and a bit of to and froing, and like Asif says, because contractually and historically, where Amir is, it's very, very difficult to do a percentage split. But if somebody's so focused and got it ingrained in their mind, it's got to be a certain split, but not wanting to look at why the split doesn't work. I'm a scrap metal merchant by trade, right? And if the deal works, if we both take something away from the table, both parties might not be 100% happy, but not 100% upset. It's a massive opportunity, and Kell is the favourite at the moment. If Kell beats Amir, where does Amir go? If Amir beats Kell's got another chapter at different weights. There's other chapters for him. So I'd encourage him to take a. If we want to get this done,
everything's on his side.
It is.
Everything's on his side, and people say, "Oh well, Amir's asking too much and greedy and this and that." It's nothing to do with that. It's about.
You could say it the other way around, though.
You could say, in fact, it is the other way around. His demands are very excessive and high. How can it work? And it can't work if his demands are excessive and high.
Because it don't work because of the percentage.
Well, it's not the percentage. The best thing for him to do is be happy with the guarantee. And if he's happy with the guarantee, then get into that ring and prove everybody what you want to prove.
May I ask what the guarantee is, Azim?
Well, the guarantees are the highest paid purse he will receive, better than he's had with the GGG fight. So if that's not a phenomenal offer, then what is? I don't see any offers coming back from them. So, let's be honest with you. We've got to make this work. And if it's for us to make it work, we've given the offer, it's there for us.
Do you think that offer is more likely to be accepted than a negotiation on the percentage?
100%. Forget 100%. Yes, I agree with you. And that offer is better than talking about anything else. And I think Eddie understands. Eddie gets it. Because he's been in the business and he's been in the trade long enough to get it. He knows that. But he will back his fighter up. And he's the one, then, like he said, he's not the one that's making the final decision. His own man is, Terry is. And if Terry's making the final decision, Terry needs to come on the camera and tell people that he's not taking the fight. That's what he needs to do. Eddie wants to do it. I want to do it. Amir wants it. So let's not be on about it. The only people that's the stumbling block now is the Brook guys. And they keep saying that we've got nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Amir Khan has got nowhere to go. Amir Khan has got more options than Kell Brook has. Kell Brook, go and fight your mandatory. I'm telling you, go and fight your mandatory. You're the best at 147. You've been saying it. Go and fight your mandatory. Get into that purse bid. You'll make a lot less money. Go and fight your mandatory. Let us take our path and you can take your path. In the meantime, we've got a phenomenal offer. The ball is in your court.
Is world titles relevant in this negotiation?
There's no world title.
Is relevant?
Who said there's a world title on the line?
No, I'm just clarifying because
But
Kell
I'm
is the
asking
IBF world champion. If he doesn't commit his mandatory, maybe we don't know what's going to go on.
Can't. IBF will strip him. What's the IBF going to do? IBF's going to turn around and say, whoa, you've had your exception. You need that mandatory. You should be having that. And it's not fair on Spence. Let's not forget that. Spence has been waiting in the wings for a long time. And Kell did this. Kell did interviews to say, I'm looking forward to fighting Spence and this and that and whatever. And listen, give the Spence the chance if you want to give the Spence the chance. And if that's the way you're going to go, that's the way you're going to go. But it's not fair. IBF, will they sanction a fight as a world title? Me? I don't think so. If they call the purse bid, do you think they're going to sanction it? Absolutely not.
Will there be any movement on this, do you think, in the next couple of days?
The ball's in their court. I think they've got a lot of thinking to do. It's them that's got to do the thinking and the deciding. They've got to decide where they're at. They've got to decide how they want to play their cards. They've got two options, in my opinion. fight Spence after the first bid. First of all, Eddie's got to bid for it. Will he? Somebody else might bid for it. And somebody else might bid for it. And he'll have to take the 75% percentage. And then of the bid, by the way, of the bid. And the challenger will get his percentage. And then will he win that fight? That's the big question. Because that's a very, very tough fight for him. So,
no matter what the percentage, it's all about the bottom line anyway. You've got Amir's accountant here. It's all about the bottom line. Don't get hung up on percentages. It's about what it leads to and getting very well paid for doing so. And if he got that, if he was true to himself, he'd be thinking, I'm getting very well paid for bashing somebody up who I can beat. He got very well paid for playing with his health in his last fight. This is a very winnable fight, and where Amir is at the moment, Amir's at a disadvantage. So he's going to get the biggest payday of his career in a very, very winnable fight. And to take the guarantee does away with all the politics and all the contractual issues with the percentages. So don't harp about. There's two ways of saying no, you don't want to fight. You either say no, or ask for too much money, or ask for a situation which is involving the revenue that can't make it work. And that's what we believe is happening here.
All right, well, listen, we look forward to further developments. Hopefully something can be done.
Hey,
Amir Khan's going to be
James,
in when?
James, we're not going to be here for much longer.
Exactly.
We're not going to keep talking about this. We've got bigger fish to fry. So, the UK, you're listening to me now. We've got bigger fish to fry as well. We've got people that we need to get to. There's a lot of options for Amir, There's a Peterson fight, which is a great. I know he's in a fight now, but that's something for the future that we're thinking about. There's the Danny Garcia situation, which is absolutely brilliant. Obviously, there's the Kell Brook situation as well, the Manny Pacquiao situation. So we've got a number of big fights there, and we've got other fights that's in the wings there waiting for us. In the UK as well, and one or two names that haven't been mentioned yet, but it could surprise a couple of people. So we've got options, and they're saying we've got nowhere to go. Come on.
All right, well, hopefully we get a response from Team Brook at some point over the next couple of days. Thank you very much.
Forward to it, James.